Have you ever wondered if someone from your past still thinks about you? Maybe it's that person who suddenly liked your old photo at 2 a.m., or someone who keeps finding excuses to bump into you. The truth is, when someone misses you, they leave psychological breadcrumbs everywhere. You just need to know what to look for. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 scientifically backed signs that someone is missing you more than they're willing to admit. And here's the interesting part. Most people don't even realize they're showing these signs. It's their subconscious mind doing all the work. Let's start with something that might surprise you. When someone misses you, their brain actually goes through measurable chemical changes. Research in neuroscience shows that missing someone activates the same brain regions as physical pain. That's right, emotional longing literally hurts. And when something hurts, we unconsciously try to find relief. The first sign is what psychologists call digital proximity seeking. You know that friend who suddenly starts watching all your stories, liking posts from months ago, or accidentally calling you on video chat? These aren't coincidences. According to attachment theory, when we miss someone, we seek any form of connection, even digital ones. It's like our brain is trying to bridge the physical distance with virtual presence. They might not text you directly, that would be too obvious. But they're creating these small digital touches because they can't help themselves. Think about it this way. Have you ever noticed how they're always one of the first people to view your stories, even though they never respond to them? Or how they suddenly react to that photo from your vacation 6 months ago? This isn't random scrolling. When someone misses you, their brain releases dopamine every time they see something connected to you. It's literally addictive. They're microdosing on your presence through these digital interactions. Dr. Nancy Baim's research on digital communication shows that people who miss someone check their social media profiles 3 to 5 times more frequently than normal. They might even create fake accounts or use a friend's phone just to see what you're up to without leaving a trace. And here's the fascinating part. They often don't realize they're doing it. Their subconscious mind is driving them to seek these connections while their conscious mind makes excuses like, "I was just scrolling," or "It popped up on my feed." The timing of these interactions is crucial too. Late night likes, early morning story views, or interactions during significant dates like your birthday or anniversaries of shared memories. These aren't accidents. They're sitting there, missing you, and unable to resist reaching out in the only way that feels safe to them. If you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It really helps more people discover content like this. And if you want to master the art of reading people's hidden emotions, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The second sign involves what I call indirect information gathering. When someone misses you, they become inadvertent detectives. They'll casually ask mutual friends about you, bring up your name in conversations that have nothing to do with you, or suddenly develop interests in things you like. This behavior is rooted in what psychologists call person permanence. Even when you're not there, you still occupy significant mental real estate in their mind. They're trying to fill the gap of your absence with information about you. But it goes deeper than just asking about you. They'll show up at places where you might be, join groups or activities you're involved in, or suddenly become best friends with your friends. They're creating what relationship experts call peripheral connections, staying in your orbit without directly entering your space. I once knew someone who missed their ex so much that they started shopping at the same grocery store at the exact time their ex usually went, just for the chance of an accidental encounter. They'd plan their entire week around these possibilities. This isn't stalking, it's the profound human need for connection manifesting in seemingly irrational but psychologically understandable ways. They might also start following accounts or pages related to your interests, your hometown, or your profession. If you're into photography, they suddenly become interested in camera equipment. If you move to a new city, they're mysteriously following that city's food blogs. Dr. Helen Fisher's brain imaging studies show that when we miss someone, our brain actively seeks information about them as a way to maintain the neural pathways associated with that person. It's like their brain refuses to let you go, so it keeps gathering data to keep you alive in their mental world. The third sign is perhaps the most revealing: emotional mirroring across distances. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you and someone else seem to go through similar emotions at the same time, even when you're not in contact? Research in interpersonal neurobiology suggests that people who share strong connections can experience synchronized emotional states. When they miss you, they might post songs that remind them of you, share quotes about nostalgia, or suddenly become active on social media during times when you used to hang out together. Their emotional rhythm is still dancing to the beat of your shared memories. This phenomenon is called limbic resonance, and it's absolutely fascinating. Dr. Thomas Lewis and his colleagues discovered that people who have formed deep emotional bonds continue to influence each other's emotional states even when separated. It's why they might feel sad on days that were significant to your relationship, or why they suddenly feel the urge to reach out during times when you're going through something difficult. You might notice they're posting melancholic songs at 11 p.m., the exact time you used to have your deep conversations. Or they're sharing quotes about growth and moving on, but the subtext screams that they're still processing feelings about you. They might even unconsciously adopt your emotional patterns. If you always got contemplative on Sunday evenings, they find themselves in that same emotional space at that same time, wondering why they feel this unexplained longing. The music they share is particularly telling. Psychologist Dr. Petra Janata found that music is one of the strongest triggers for autobiographical memories. When someone misses you, they often get caught in what I call musical time travel, playing songs that transport them back to moments with you. If they're publicly sharing these songs, especially with cryptic captions or at significant times, they're not just listening to music. They're sending out emotional smoke signals, hoping somehow you'll decode the message. Here's something most people don't realize, and this is our fourth sign. When someone truly misses you, they experience what's called phantom buzz syndrome, but for your presence. Just like people feel their phone vibrating when it isn't, someone who misses you might think they see you in crowds, hear your laugh in public spaces, or catch themselves looking for you in familiar places. Neuroscientist Dr. Michelle Drouin's research shows this happens because our brain fills in gaps with what it expects or desires to perceive. If they mention seeing someone who looked just like you, or if mutual friends tell you they asked if you'd be at certain events, that's their brain literally manifesting you in their environment. This goes beyond just thinking they saw you. They might catch themselves turning around when they hear someone with a similar voice, or their heart might skip when they see a car like yours. They're experiencing what psychologists call hypervigilance. Their brain is on constant alert for any sign of you. I had a client who told me she kept smelling her ex's cologne everywhere she went, even though he lived in a different city. She'd walk into a coffee shop and swear he had just been there. This wasn't her imagination running wild. This was her brain's attachment system in overdrive. When we miss someone intensely, our sensory memories become hyperactive. The brain literally creates sensory experiences of the person we're longing for. They might also find themselves saving a seat for you unconsciously, buying two of something out of habit, or reaching for their phone to text you before remembering you're not in contact. These phantom behaviors reveal just how deeply you're embedded in their neural pathways. Dr. O'Connor's research on continuing bonds theory shows that our brain maintains active representations of people we're attached to, and when we miss them, these representations become hyperactive, creating these phantom experiences. The fifth and perhaps most powerful sign is what I call the nostalgia loop. When someone misses you, they get caught in a psychological pattern where everything becomes a reminder. They'll revisit places you went together, not accidentally, but as a form of emotional archaeology. They might suddenly start using phrases you used to say, or develop habits you shared. This is based on the psychological principle of emotional conditioning. Our brains associate certain stimuli with specific people, And when we miss them, we unconsciously seek out these associations. If they're posting throwback photos, especially ones with hidden meanings only you would understand, or if they're recreating experiences you shared, they're stuck in this nostalgia loop. But this loop is more complex than simple reminiscing. Dr. Konstantin Sedekhide's research on nostalgia shows that when people miss someone, they use nostalgia as an emotional regulation tool. They're not just remembering, they're actively trying to recapture the feelings associated with you. This is why they might suddenly start going to your favorite restaurant, ordering your usual drink, or watching shows you used to watch together. The nostalgia loop often manifests in subtle behavioral changes. They might start dressing in a style you complimented, using your favorite expressions, or developing tastes similar to yours. It's like they're trying to keep a part of you alive through these behaviors. They're creating what psychologists call transitional phenomena, external objects or behaviors that represent the missing person. You might notice they're posting photos from places you visited together, but they're there alone now. Or they're recreating photos you took together, but with someone else or by themselves. This isn't about making you jealous. It's about trying to relive those moments, to feel that connection again. They might even celebrate unofficial anniversaries, like posting something special on the date of your first meeting, even if they don't explicitly mention what the date means. The nostalgia loop can also manifest in their conversations. They might constantly bring up, "Remember when," stories to mutual friends, or find ways to weave shared memories into unrelated discussions. They're not living in the past, they're trying to process a present where you're absent but still psychologically significant. But here's the key thing to understand: missing someone isn't just about absence, it's about unfinished emotional business. Dr. Zygarnik's research on incomplete tasks shows that our minds give special attention to unresolved situations. When someone misses you, it's often because your story with them feels incomplete. Now, you might be wondering, what should I do if I notice these signs? Well, that depends entirely on what you want. Sometimes, recognizing these signs gives you closure. Other times, it might open a door you thought was closed. The important thing is that you're now aware of these subtle psychological signals that most people miss entirely. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed any of these signs from someone in your life? Or maybe you've caught yourself doing some of these things? Share your story below. This community thrives on real experiences and authentic connections. And remember, understanding human behavior isn't about manipulation, it's about connection. When we understand what others are feeling, even when they can't express it directly, we become better friends, partners, and humans. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next video where I'll be revealing the subtle signs that someone is falling for you, including the one sign that psychologists say is impossible to fake. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until next time, keep observing, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the most important messages are the ones left unspoken.